Let's start with the GSA itself, our first acronym of the day. GSA is the General Services Administration. They're the purchasing and management arm of the U.S. government. The agencies within the government will outsource many of their acquisition and contracting requirements to GSA. So GSA will negotiate government-wide auto fleets, government-wide airline discounts, hotel discounts. They'll run public buildings on behalf of all the agencies. This way, the government is able to leverage its considerable buying power on behalf of all agencies and save the taxpayers some money. Now, within the GSA, we have the Federal Acquisition Service. Federal Acquisition Service runs the Schedules program. And the Federal Acquisition Service operates as a profit center. They charge a 0.75% industrial funding fee on every transaction, every dollar that goes through every GSA schedule. Why is that an important enough point that I put it on the very first informational slide? Why do we care that GSA charges an industrial funding fee? Why is it important that GSA charges this fee? Go ahead, JR.
Oh, I'm sorry. It can keep them honest, if you will, because they are making a profit, and they can't necessarily just show favoritism.
Well, they wouldn't show favoritism. I mean, that goes along part of it. But really, they want to keep this as open as possible. The more vendors they have and the more those vendors sell, the more revenue they bring in. They're making an awful lot of money. Also, people will point out, the first answer I usually get is, you should keep this percentage in mind as you set your prices at GSA too, because it could eat into your profits. Anybody know who pays the industrial funding fee? Whose pocket that comes out of? The vendors? Maybe. The industrial funding fee works as a sales tax. Who pays sales tax on a Coca-Cola? Customer. If you go to McDonald's, you pay the sales tax, right? 10%, something like that. What about if you go to the movie theater? Who pays the sales tax on the Coca-Cola? It's built into the price, isn't it? So you can set your GSA pricing to either absorb that industrial funding fee or pass it on to the customer, something that you should know. But most importantly, as JR said, this is all about motivation. GSA is motivated to get you a GSA schedule, and they're motivated to make sure you sell and you're profitable and your schedule does well.